Okay.
OTD family. It's yours truly, the Commish rye bread here, and I'm so honored that, you know, one of the great owners of league history and all-timer is here to join me today. It is the Mun Dynasty. You may know him from starting off the season 2-6, I believe, but marching his way back with his Mun Dynasty army to a positive record, and he is your fourth seed of the playoffs, the Mun Dynasty. Mun Dynasty, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be back on this show and to be back with such happy news, such happy feelings from my team. So thank you for having me.
Right. And do you just want to take a second? We had the DCs release a podcast yesterday where they viciously tore apart many franchises. However,
Uh
when it came to the Mun Dynasty, nothing but props. How does that make you feel that the number one seed it refuses to take shots and is just all positive when it comes to the Mun Dynasty?
well, if my keen eye was picking up, information correctly on the screen watching that podcast or vodcast, I noticed that he was trying to say something bad about my team, but he couldn't think of anything. He truly could not think of anything to say. I think he was just genuinely happy for me to be there. And you know what? I'm happy to see him there too. I think I is it let's see. He's never made the playoffs. Is that accurate? Is this his first year making the playoffs, or is the second year making the playoffs?
One could make that mis could say that in. Most people wouldn't catch it, but the DCs have made the playoffs one time.
Okay, so I don't want to disrespect the number one seed in the franchise. His team, I definitely respect the team. It's exciting. I would if I won my first round playoff match, would I be in the same bracket as him, or would I have to see him in the championship to see his team?
So you could potentially see him in the first round. It would take, how would that work? Oh, I would have to lose. If I lose and you
Okay,
win, you will see the DCs in round one.
gotcha. He's on a hot streak. I'm not sure if I want to play his team so soon. I want him to. He's getting that extra bye week to get some rest, to, gather some intel against my team. And so I would like to play him after he's played his first playoff match, just to, you know, even out the playing field. I got to give him that respect, as he did for me.
That's true. But when it comes to your team, you're a team that's made the playoffs now a few straight seasons. Each time it seems marching closer to the title. Whereas the DCs, I mean, again, like one playoff appearance in 12 seasons, and they remember they got bounced very quickly in that playoffs. So not a lot of experience in like these big games. Do you think that you hold some sort of competitive advantage if you go and do face the DCs at some point?
Hmm. I'm going to say yes to that question. I think our team does have an advantage. It would still be a hard battle, but yes, I do think that our multiple playoff appearances, which I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think it's many. I think it only might be three or four. Um, but I learned my mistake, which was I think the very first playoff appearance that we've made was maybe in the second or third year. And I believe my team was the highest scoring team that year as well in that season. But it all fell apart when both my starting quarterbacks, Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota, they both got injured in that week 14,
Yep.
ruined my playoff chances, my championship chance. And I now know to build my team around a star quarterback, a true bona fide star quarterback. And I think I have them in Drake May. I'm trying to think of Mr. Mr. Dynasty Champions quarterbacks. I believe it's Brock Purdy, CJ Stroud, and help me here. Am I missing another one?
So Brock Purdy is not on the DC's roster.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, I believe he traded Brock Purdy for a second round pick maybe a couple years
Got
back.
it. Okay.
Yeah, he does have CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
And
And who else?
do you know his other starting quarterback, or would you
I
like me to reveal?
I would like a hint. Give me a hint here. Is he a top 10 quarterback on his team?
I don't think you could say he's a top 10 fantasy quarterback, but he probably is somewhere between 10 and 20.
Ah,
Unlike CJ Stroud, who is right around 24, 25 in the rankings.
yes. Dang. No, lay it on me. I can't think of a all quarterbacks besides Drake May to me are just kind of just and Josh Allen. I gotta give Josh Allen his respect as well.
Sure, sure. Though the quarterback that you're not thinking of is Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Jordan Love, of course, of course. I see. Yeah, I would agree with your sentiment. He's not a top 10, but he's definitely in that 10 to 20 range in fantasy. And I think that's where we're going to get him. We're going to get him in the quarterback competition. Sure, Cam Ward, he's still a little green behind the ears, but Drake May, I think he's proven that he's a better quarterback than CJ Stroud this year, last year, and I think he's going to be the focal point of my team. And I would like to say my receivers are probably better than his receivers as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a weakness in my team, or I can't think of anything but the quarterback position that would falter maybe the QB2 specifically. So, I'm not exactly sure what the question was, but not super worried.
Sure.
But we'll be prepared for sure.
That's good to know. But we also don't need you looking too far ahead because you do have a matchup this upcoming Sunday. And we all know that is against the very variable scoring Krispy Kremers.
Yeah,
What do
it's
you
true.
think about this Krispy Kreme franchise? What do you think about their season when a lot of people definitely weren't believing them to be a contender before the season?
Mm.
And like the DCs did say last night, they do tend to put up either 180 plus or sub 120. So you get a very mixed bag. So what do you think about going against a team like this? How do you plan? What do you tell your team and how do you beat a team like this?
Well, this is what I tell my team. I tell them we've been fighting a hard fight. We've been clawing our way up to the playoffs, and then we became the third seed. No, wait, no, the fourth. No, third seed, fourth seed,
Fourth.
fourth seed.
Yeah,
Regardless, we clawed our way up, and I want to say in the last 6 games we've put a minimum points of 140, 150. And then during that 6 game streak, we also got the highest scoring team of the week throughout the whole season. So
very true.
I'm going to tell them this. I'm going to tell them keep that dog in them. Okay. Stay in that dark place. Keep that dog in them. We're going to fight. We're not going to disrespect the Krispy Kremes. We respect them. We
Right.
respect JSN on their team. We respect other players on their team that I can't think of right now. But we respect their team. And that's what we're just gonna do. What we've been doing the past this whole season. We've been fighting, and all I'm gonna say is it's gonna be a nasty fight. It's gonna get physical. We're gonna take this back to how the Ravens were playing back in the day with Ray Lewis. We're gonna be a gritty team, and we're hungry for that win, and we won't stop.
But there does have to be one thing that scares you deeply about the Krispy Kremers,
Okay, lay it on me.
and
What is that?
that is the cold hard fact that
Oh,
they do roster one of the all-time great Mun Dynasty quarterbacks,
ah,
Tua
that's right.
Tagovailoa.
That's
I
right.
mean, so when you think about that and you think about Tua, his loyalty to the Mun Dynasty, now as a Krispy Kremer, potentially giving away, some of the plays, some of the inside information and whatnot, and the fact that he probably will have to start Tua this upcoming week based on his situations.
Mhm.
What do you think about that, seeing Tua on the opposite lineup?
Tua, he was a starting quarterback for for at least 4 years on my team. And it was sad to part with him. I won't lie, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Sometimes you got to shed what's old to bring in new. And I'm happy that he's found some resurgence on a team. You know what's funny is I've actually given him his starting quarterbacks. They've come from me. I've had Jared Goff, sent him over to the Krispy Kremes. I sent Tua, over to the Krispy Kremes. I sent him Kyle Pitts. Interestingly enough, I've actually traded with the Krispy Kremes a lot, and I actually got Trevion Henderson from the Krispy Kremes
Mm,
from the trade. It involved Tua in there. So I think the Krispy Kremes. If I had to send a beloved player from my team, I know I'm sending him to a winning franchise, and that's all I had to do. And I'm glad. I think my players are my previous players are with me. I think they're happy that they landed on Krispy Kremes instead of like a team like the Heroes Dynasty deserves. That they landed on a winning team.
that's
That's
right.
all I can say.
Tough season for the Heroes Dynasty deserves going into their first, I believe, toilet bowl in a very long time. Certainly the first since the punishment has been enacted. How do you see
Well,
that playing out with the koalas?
man, all I know is that's gonna look like two grown kids fighting in a mud swamp. That's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be messy, and I can't tell who's gonna win. One team has a little more, weight on their team, and the other team, you know, they're a little bit more rabid. So I don't know. It's like a heavyweight versus a scrappy, you know, rabid-like kid, and I'm not sure who's gonna win that.
It's a heavyweight with a belly full of red wine versus a scrappy kid in the Wisconsin breweries.
You know what?
I come from the college kids.
I think that's a match to look forward to. I'm gonna be tuned in for that to that fight.
Absolutely. It's certainly going to be our highest rated toilet bowl in several years.
I don't
Absolutely.
even, what was last year's toilet bowl? I can't even remember. Was it Cody?
It was Cody, and I think he faced actually the Vegas Koalas.
Wow,
I'm pretty
wow.
sure. Yeah.
Well, I think
You
my
see a
money's on the
very
Vegas Koalas. He has more experience in the toilet bowl. I don't think
true.
I don't know how much. I don't know if the Heroes Dynasty deserves. I don't know if their team is their morale must be at an all-time low this year.
Absolutely. And the Koalas they're looking for three-time toilet bowl champ status. So I certainly wouldn't bet against them.
What a cool title to have. Three bowl toilet bowl winner. That's a three that's another type of three-peat that I hope I never have to be involved in. But if you can do it, I think that's pretty impressive.
And I did hear once you do become, it's actually a five-time toilet bowl champ. We do actually create the golden throne and ship it to your house.
I, I think we can allocate some of the budget towards that. That sounds like a worthwhile venture.
Do like that. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
So we talked about one of our bye week teams. Let's talk about the other. That would be the Beasts. And we'll get into some controversy a little bit later.
Okay.
We have the Beasts. Five-time champs? Or is it six?
Yeah. Maybe. Oh,
I'm literally losing count.
I that's how that's how dominating his team is, but I can't even remember how many he's won.
He's
Oh,
got a lot of championships. He has a lot of rings. He's got the goat necklace. The man's just got ice for days.
uh,
He is now has a bye week. I mean, there is a solid prospect that the Mun Dynasty sees them in the semis or the championship, however it plays out. This is a team with a lot of experience,
mhm.
and historically, they do not lose their opening match and they get
Oh,
to that championship.
dang. He's made the championship every time.
Pretty much. It's he has a couple times he's exited, but especially recently, he's just been on an absolute heater, obviously.
Well, my thoughts are this. We would love to see Mr. Beast in the playoffs. We want to beat a strong team to really prove that our team deserves to be there. And I think everyone in the league can agree that our team deserves to be there. But I think it would be a big accomplishment for us to beat Mr. Beast again. We're 1-1 this season. We played against each other twice. We lost in the Godzilla Bowl, and we won in the rematch a couple weeks ago. And yeah, our schedule's been tough. So why not make our playoff schedule tough too? We want it. You know what? We would love to see all the Boy Ducks in the playoffs. We would love that. That'd be a fun story. A team that beat every single Boy Duck up to the championship and beating them in the championship. That'd be a great news headline.
The Mun Dynasty knocks down three Boydocks in a row.
And I know we're not going to get to it yet, but I'm not the only one that has a little controversy with the Boy Ducks. I remember having one back in the first year, actually. But that's old news. That's old news.
That's right. Well, that is true. We might as well get into it at this point. That is true. You did have the controversy with the Green Machine back in 2014, but a few years later, looks like all that pressure is lifted off your shoulders,
Guess so.
and we can maybe assume a new rivalry has been created in the OTD. Not on my own. Like I said in the Discord, Mon Dynasty, it was nothing personal about the Green Machine.
Yeah.
But when I see the Green Machine, I'm just being honest, I see an extremely weak, crumbling franchise that I have every possibility, I have every reason to believe that my team can smash in this upcoming Sunday, week 15, round one of the playoffs matchup.
Mm.
And Alex, I respect your team. I would have loved to seen your team win a championship the last 2 or 3 seasons when you were truly in your prime. Okay. When you were coming into your prime and you had Tyreek and you had Jalen in his prime and you had JT going off and Zay Flowers at his best. You had all those tight ends. I would have loved to see you beat your dad in the Super Bowl and finally hit that championship. But sadly, I think that ship has sailed. And I looked at the matchups and I said, do I want to face Mr. Boydock in the first round?
Mm. With that history that you did research on, with those stats, yeah.
History, a team that's beaten me in the championship game.
Oh,
Or do I want to beat a team that has just traded two first round picks for a player that has 2 points in his last 2 games? I
yikes.
so I weighed the probabilities and I made a decision. Okay. I made some choices, and like the DC said, some managers play checkers, and what do the others play? Mun Dynasty. What do we play?
Some play 3D chess.
That's right. That's right.
Here's
And
my thoughts on the matter. I
let
think
me hear it. Let me hear it.
I respect your choice. I respect it. Now, am I going to say you don't owe any fines? No, you definitely owe a fine. You you deserve a penalty. So, of monetary value. That's my thoughts. But hey, did you do it to win it? Yes, and I can respect that. You made a strategic move. Could you have been a little bit more discreet about it? Yes, absolutely. Could you have trusted the Mun Dynasty to definitely beat the Mr. Yuns so you could make some more questionable decisions that could not be questioned? Yes. But at the end, you made your choice. The food has already been made. What else can we do? We can't send it back. It's
No,
already on the dinner table.
no, you gotta serve dinner.
You got to serve it.
And you
You
gotta clear
know,
your plate.
I think that, yeah, it's a big bummer for the Green Machines. I do sympathize with their frustrations having a first week bye. Never, and have I ever tasted that? Have I ever had a first week bye? I don't know. I don't think I've ever had. So I'm not sure what that delicacy tastes like, and I'm sure that's he's always wanted to try it, some caviar, but you know he's still in the playoffs. He's got to enjoy. He's got to enjoy the simple foods, the bread
Oh,
roll, the dinner roll. It's just as tasty,
that's right.
has its purpose, and I'm not gonna lie. If I have to face against a Mr. Beast or Green Machines, I feel like both teams could put up some. I feel like both teams are very worthwhile. Um, I would say this, Rye Bread. Could your organization could they have had a bit more confidence in their team to play whatever team they needed to? Sure, but hey, does this maneuver that you made does it give it some extra umami into this playoff season? It absolutely does.
That's right.
And so, as I once said before, I respect your decision.
Well, it feels good definitely to have some kind words spoken about the Rye Bread franchise, not only from our esteemed colleague and newsletter writer, Vegas Koalas, but also a great franchise who's also in the playoffs, the Mun Dynasty. So I do greatly appreciate that.
I have to shout out to the shout out to the Vegas Koalas as well.
Yeah.
They congratulated me right away after my fifth row fifth win in a row, and I think he was very confident I was gonna make the playoffs at that point. So I got to show him some love. I've been looking. I've looked forward to every single week of the Vegas Koalas newsletter. Every single week I read it, even when I was driving. I would read it as soon as it came out, and I would read it as I was driving. And yeah, it was an absolute blast reading them, and I hope that he does something like that. I hope he has the inspiration to do that again next year. I hope I
Yeah.
it's the it's just awesome. I love the Gazette. It's something that the league needed.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, it might it kept my team through. It motivated my team. It He understood that my team wasn't underperforming. It was meeting truly some hard, just battle ready teams, and we're just preparing for the win.
Right.
Anyways, just wanted to show my appreciation for the Vegas Koalas. I think everyone can appreciate them, and I hope they win the toilet bowl.
Mun Dynasty, we could do a 2 hour long conversation praising the Vegas Koalas and still have 10 hours left to talk about how great they are
Agreed.
on so many different levels. So I'm totally with you there. Let me just close out my thoughts on the Green Machine real quick.
Oh, sure.
Green Machine, if you're pissed off at me, I understand. This is all I have to say. Beat me on Sunday.
Oh,
Show up to the field with your Eagles, with your Jalen Hurts, who threw 4 interceptions yesterday and scored zero point 0.4 points, and Saquon, who hasn't scored over 15 points in who knows how long. Show
oh,
up with your Jonathan Taylor, who no longer has a top 10 NFL quarterback behind him and now is going to see a loaded box. Show up with your Zay Flowers, who had zero point 0.6 points last time he played the Cincinnati Bengals, okay? Show up with Travis Kelce, who had 1 catch yesterday. Just bring your guys and let's play a game of football,
oh.
okay?
Hmm.
Because on the other side of the field, you're going to see the number one and the number two quarterbacks in the league, and they're hungry. They're hungry because they are on a team that they know they can win it all with, and they have both before. They're hungry because they know they got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield with a resurged Devontae Williams, and they know they have a receiving core that's been beaten and battered throughout the season, losing neighbors, but still are going to find a way in the playoffs to generate some points. Okay. You are going to get the best Rye Bread has to offer. So all I have to say is show up. There, I know there's a lot of trash talk on the Discord. Just show up and beat me on Sunday. Let's go.
Wow. Wow. That was some gasoline to the fire, and I love it. And I might be looking forward to more of that match than even my match. There's a lot of heat in that, and I totally forgot that you lost Malik Neighbors throughout the early in the season, and you fought your way up there, and I can only respect that. Whew, dang, yeah, the fans are gonna love it.
I think certainly this is one of our better playoff pictures of the past several seasons.
Oh
Just
yeah,
the storylines, the drama, is unparalleled for quite some time. So a lot of different ways this one could play out. I think you'd agree. And yeah, we both have some work to do. We probably got to get back to our film study and all of that at this point, before we make our final decisions for our lineups. Got a lot of work.
I want to say I think every team that made the playoffs this season, they deserve to be there. They definitely deserve to be there. The one team that I'm so sad about not making it, Mike Vick in a box. Truly sad. I'm only thinking, what if Joe Burrow was healthy all season? But that's not how a season works. We've all had our fair share of injuries. Maybe some worse than others for sure. But that's just how fantasy football is. You got to fight through.
Yep, facts. I know a couple teams wouldn't mind having Joe Burrow on their roster
Oh,
this weekend and next as well for some of our bye
sure
week.
would.
That wouldn't be bad. But we're sure the Mike Vick in a box, a former champion, will find their way, claw their way back at some point.
Hmm.
Just not going to be this year. Alrighty, folks. Well, that was your official 2025 OTD playoff preview. Yours truly, the Commish, Rybread, joined by the Mun Dynasty. Mun Dynasty, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me. And everyone, no luck needed. Let's just have a good fight. That's all we need to boost the ratings. We don't need anything else. Let's just train hard, fight hard, and the dinner table that we all set together, let's have a feast.
Truer words have never been spoken. Thank you. Later, guys.
See ya.